What's happening?
Oi, oi.
All right, mate.
What's going on?
Not much. I got a wee apple, have you?
Yeah, probably not the best thing to be eating now, is it?
Crack on, mate.
No.
Excuse me.
You got don't often wear blue, Ras.
It's one of those
Chelsea or Everton blue.
Chesterfield, actually. No, it's one of those t-shirts, like, the running t-shirts and stuff. So, and my exercise, isn't it?
You look like you're exercising very hard right now, mate.
Oh, you just shut up.
What's going on? You all right, Wragg?
I'm fine. I just love the way we start the podcast. You're eating an apple, and Barry's just burping. So that's editing for me to do, isn't it?
Sorry, Wragg.
Keep it in.
Yeah, keep it in.
Just keep
Actually,
it in.
that apple's made me one out of that.
So apologies. Welcome to the Football Humans. No podcast last week because we, for whatever reason, we just didn't get around to it, and it just kind of just didn't happen, did it, guys? You know what I mean?
There was no football last week, anyway.
There was no football, but we were still going to do a podcast because it was the end of the transfer window. So
Yeah.
let's go back and look at the end of the transfer window and discuss what we think the best transfers were. With hindsight, were we excited with the transfer window?
No, I don't get excited that much anymore. It's not as kind of exciting as it used to be, I don't think. But no, I think Everton and Newcastle did quite well, but they needed to do quite well. I mean, they say quite well. They've definitely strengthened. Whether that will catapult them into a decent second half of the season, we don't know. But yeah, they needed a few signings, Newcastle especially. So
yeah, but Everton have signed someone that can't get in the Man United first team, and someone that can't get in the Spurs first team. So I mean, are they good signings?
I think the reason is because Lampard's in there. I think Lampard feels he can get the best out of them, and these guys probably looked up to Lampard when they were younger. Think, oh, I'll play for Lampard. Do you know what I mean? And he'll kind of use them and say, like, kind of arm around them and say, "You're world class," and they'll be like, "Oh, I am. Yeah, I am," and they'll definitely do better than what they've been doing.
I do think they are the most interesting signings of all the window, and the most interesting one out of all of them is Dele Alli. It's like to see what happens with him, because I mean this is probably last chance, isn't it? I mean, at the top level.
Yeah, I mean he's only 25 still, which is mad. But I mean he's been shite for what, 3 years, like, so he's like maybe a bit longer. So
it just feels like he's lost like the love of the game a little bit. Do you know what I mean? And this,
definitely,
This is like I mean, because he is basically the player Lampard was. He's the same sort of player.
Yeah.
Makes runs into the box, is a midfielder who scored a lot of goals. Like not recently, but when he was at his best. So I think it's a good fit to be with. Yeah, but we'll see. I mean, it might not work out. And like you said, it could turn out that they've signed someone who his best days are past him and couldn't get in the Man United team, the other one. So, but
did you see their video, both of them?
Yeah.
Doing the Up the Toffees video. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't. No.
It's really embarrassing. They're both really lackluster. They just kind of go Up the Toffees. I'll send it to you later. It's so funny.
See, they both got introduced this weekend at the cup game, and they're making a big deal about what Dele Alli was wearing. It was like,
yeah, I know. I was annoyed about it as well. It was like,
who gives a fuck what he's wearing?
I know
exactly.
I know that's the least of his worries, really. Like if he does the business, if he starts doing the business in the park again, that's the only thing they're wanting. Like, fuck. I mean, yeah.
Well, I only felt sympathy for him because I know that would be me. I'd be like, if it was two people introduced, I'd be the scruffy sod. Like, or the people would be like, "Oh, what's he wearing? He needs to dress up."
I mean, the thing is,
I'm comfortable, mate.
It, so show, if he's told to wear a suit, then fine. But I mean, it's like he wasn't. He probably wasn't. It's not as if he's turned up at Remembrance Sunday wearing that, is it? Do you know what I mean? It's like he's just coming in before the game. Give away for low. That's it. Forget about it. Just leave him alone.
I know.
Well, I'm very happy because Diaz seems a snip at 33 million. He came on.
Do you need him? Do you need him?
Yeah, of course we do. He came on and had an impact, a little bit of skill, set up Minamino in the cup.
Does he make the first 11?
Nah, he doesn't. But it's good because he's obviously a long-term target. He's young.
So Wragg, well then that begs the question of like, does that signal the end for one of the guys on the sides?
I think
Mane and Salah. Does that mean one of them's off?
It signals no. It signals.
You sure?
It signals that Mane, Salah, and Firmino are getting to an age where we need a Diaz, Jota, and someone else long term in maybe 3 or 4 years that can then take that on. That's what I think. I think it's forward planning. It's not an immediate fix.
I mean, I think Firmino's days are.
I think Firmino's going to be like,
and Minamino's pretty shite as well, isn't it?
Well, Minamino, yeah. I mean, but
like there's no way he's going to be ever going to be a starter for Liverpool, no matter how many. Well, I say no matter how many injuries, but they're never going to trust him to be a starter.
He won't be a starter, but he's he's popping up with goals, good in, like say, FA Cup. He's a good squad player. But I think it's decent strength and depth.
Yeah, but Jota, I mean, Jota is not it's the player that plays down the middle, is he? I mean, he has done. He has done, but that's for Liverpool. But that's not his best position, is it?
What do you think his best position is?
From the left.
Probably where Mane
exactly
is,
where Mane is. And I don't know what Diaz is. Is he right? Or is he left?
I think he's left as well. He's definitely a winger, but I thought he was left as well.
Middle and left, yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a good sign. He's a good player, though. He's a good player.
Jota's really good in the air, by the way. Jota's more of a number 9 than we think. I think he's a great finisher and he's really good in the air, considering his size. So I think he'll be playing down the middle.
Nice to see Christian Eriksen back in the Premier League at Brentford.
Yeah, it is.
Do you think that's going to be a good signing for Brentford? Do you think? I mean, he's a decent player. Like after all he's gone through, like
it all depends how he recovers. It all depends how he recovers, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Hopefully he does, because that would be a great signing for Brentford if they can get any sort of sense.
So that short-term deal, it's basically this is like showing like that if he is the player he was 5 years ago, then he'll get a big move in the summer again. But if he's not, then it's getting 6 months to prove himself that he can still be a professional footballer, which is like harsh to say. But I mean, you don't know how it's affected him mentally.
Yeah, I think you've got a good point there. It
is mad that there's
putting him in the shop window, isn't it?
About we're fitted with pacemakers. You can play in one top tier league, can't play in another.
Yeah, you just thought that would be
you think the medical advice would be the same across the board, but clearly not.
Like a universal rule, because
it
doesn't really make sense that you can play in the Premier League, which arguably is more physically demanding than the Italian league.
Yeah, I would say so.
Basically, it's a bit weird.
So then back to Everton. You happy with Lampard being there now, Ras? I know you kicked off a bit when he first.
I don't think he'll be a good fit for them. I really don't. He might get a few good results, and he might do bits. And I hope he does, because I quite like Everton as a club. I've always had a soft spot for Everton, so I definitely hope he does well. I just don't think long term he's the man for them, or I just don't think he's the right fit for Everton. Definitely not.
Okay, short term, is he the right fit for Everton?
I think majority of people could come in and be done okay short term, because I think it was almost like a poisonous atmosphere at the place, that Benitez has been there in the first place and stuff, that they needed a fresh face to come in. And I think short term might do okay, and if Ali and Van de Beek turn out to be decent signings, and there's guys there like Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison and stuff who again looked up to Lampard, and that's that kind of era, their era. that they
Well,
might play for him, but I don't think
I mean, they
long
got a
term.
good result in the cup, didn't they? And it's weird because instantly I was reading reports, I didn't see it, but they were like Andre Gomez was man of the match. I was like, I forgot he was even there. To be totally honest, like, yeah,
Yeah, I know.
So it goes to show that like that new manager boost can just completely change like at least the attitude of at least a couple of players at least. Anything.
Yeah. Do you think that, like Lampard as a manager, is he going to be up there challenging for top 4, top 5? Like with has he got the know-how to kind of break?
I mean, but realistically, I mean, Everton would be happy at the minute just to get back into that top 8. I would say. Just
and do you think he's got that in him? Because I think that the experienced managers you got in the Premier League, the calibre of managers that are there, I can't see Lampard. I mean, he's not been a manager for very long, I suppose, but I can't see him outwitting teams at all.
I think if they're more shrewd in the transfer market, then yes, I would say there's a lot of problems up top, as in like hierarchy more than anything, by the sound of it. But I mean, if you look at their transfers, they've not been highly successful over the last few years. So there's something else going on. Do you know what I mean? That needs addressing. Hopefully, he can have more say of because the plus point about that is Everton have always had a good academy and they've got some good young players. And Lampard is proven to give young players a chance. And you know he's brought players on at Derby and at Chelsea that are youngsters. So there's definite plus points for that. And you would think that he might dip into some of his knowledge of the younger players later on down the line. But getting Van der Beek and Ali was sort of like they needed to do something about that midfield, especially with Decore being injured for so long.
Yeah.
So I mean, I didn't think it was a great job for him to take, but like you said, the fact that he's got Paul Clement in as assistant manager, I think is a really good decision. And
still keeping Duncan Ferguson there, I think is really important as well. Keeping Big Duncan.
Yeah. So the setup, if I was an Everton fan, I'd be quite excited by it. Obviously, he needs a bit of time, but I don't know if they'll get time because they've had such a bad season. They're quite far down, aren't they? So.
Yeah. See, I think Lampard is going to be a real top manager, and the reason I say that, I know you're talking about him from like a personality kind of view, like the way he comes across in interviews. Like and all that sort of thing. But if you think of it from a professional point of view, he's worked with amazing managers throughout his career. So he's going to have picked techniques from all those sources that that's going to make him a really good manager. That's what I know
what you're saying.
I genuinely believe that he's going to have absorbed all that information. It will make him a better manager, and then in a few years' time, then judge whether he's any good. But for example,
how many players have played under
you can say about experience and stuff. Like you would have thought Ranieri going to Watford would have steadied the ship. Didn't work out. So. Didn't work out at all. And that's going with a load of experience, and that's going with all those things.
No, I think it's more than that though. I know what you're saying, but I think it's that's I don't agree with that because I think it's not about who you've worked on and stuff. I mean, if you look at guys like Gary Neville and Phil Neville and Roy Keane, then they're not great managers. They never would be.
They only worked under one great manager.
Yeah, exactly. They only had
one great.
Well, that's fine. I can give loads of other examples. There's loads of world class players out there that would never be good managers. I think being a good manager isn't how good a player you were, or who you played for, or how many great managers you worked under in your career.
No, but what I'm saying,
I think it's down to you as a personality.
I agree, but in the case of Lampard, because I know you gave it such a hard time, like I think like going to Derby, getting that experience, going to Chelsea.
I don't think he did very well at Derby.
Top job. He did a great job at Chelsea. I thought he was really unlucky. He had a dip in form, got booted out. I thought they should have stuck by him personally. I thought he was doing fine.
Well, basically, what it would have.
He'd have probably won the Champions League with them, wouldn't he?
He would have stayed at Derby longer. It was just the circumstances at Chelsea at the time allowed him to get that job early, and he done really well in that season where we couldn't get transferred. But in hindsight, it probably for him was too early to get that job in his managerial career. He
Yeah.
probably
Yeah, they knew
needed
they knew what they were doing though. Chelsea gave him the job to steady the ship. He was never going to be a long-term manager. It was steady the ship and get the youth players through while they had the transfer.
I mean,
that was going to be it.
No,
It
I
was always
honestly
good. We all
believe
knew
that
that.
the hope was that he will be a long-term manager. I just don't think the experience was there, and the coaching staff experience wasn't there either. That's why I think the decisions made this time around show that there's a bit of development there. That it's like, right, I need to. Well, he's kept Ferguson there, which is the heart of an Everton. He's got the knowledge of the club, and then to bring in someone who's worked with Ancelotti over like all that time, and has not really proved himself as like a great manager, but he is a great assistant coach. Is a good, with Paul Clement has got a lot of experience in that.
Yeah,
So
definitely agree with that.
it definitely shows that a bit more maturity about his decisions. I think.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Well, no, I think he had to make this decision because we could all see that from mile off. I said that last time when he took Jody Morris to Chelsea. It was clear to see that he needed an experienced manager because I don't think he's that mature as a person either, Lampard. I think he's got too much to say for himself some things, and he's still got a kind of boyish attitude. For me, I don't think he's apart from the fact that he's a great player, and that's why certain players might look up to him because of that same position of what he did, goal scoring and stuff like that with Chelsea and all that. But I don't see players coming through looking up to admiring him as a person really or as a manager. But I think this kind of moment of him coming in and getting a few results in there, it's a new fresh face. I think that will fade. And I don't, because I think talking about Derby, I don't think he did a great job at Derby. And I think if he stayed another season and he still finished outside like top 6 or whatever, not getting promoted or not near the promotion, then he would have been sacked from Derby before he even got a chance to manage Chelsea. So.
Fair enough. Let's agree to disagree then.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I mean, it'll be interesting. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah, it will be.
Yes.
It was good.
Well, they've got Newcastle soon, haven't they? So
Yeah.
It's Newcastle Everton next week, isn't it? So
yeah. So
and they've got what's it? Boreham Wood in the FA Cup, haven't they?
yeah, that was a great result for them. I'm so glad they won that game.
What an amazing result, eh? What an amazing result.
Magic of the FA Cup.
And there could have been a few more over the weekend as well. I mean,
Chelsea and West Ham especially, yeah.
Plymouth pushed us all the way. Plymouth played really well.
Missed a penalty as well.
I mean, Kidderminster, what a gutter that is, right?
Yeah, I know.
Stoppage time in the 90th and stoppage time in extra time. I mean,
I know.
God, that's got to be the worst way to lose that.
I know, definitely.
Because all the while you're thinking, I mean, stoppage time of the 90, you're like, well, we've got extra time, we could get penalties. And then when it clicks down to that sort of time, you're like, right, we're going to have a penalty shootout. It could go either way. It's going to be like so exciting. And then,
it was really harsh.
Absolutely gutting. But
I think that you could be right there. Part of them just like switching off, already thinking about
penalties.
Yeah.
Did you see the penalty shootout for the AFCON?
Yeah, I did.
I did not.
Did you not? Well, Mane missed a penalty in the I think it's about the 6th minute or something.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of Liverpool controversy because Salah went over to the Egyptian goalkeeper and was telling him which way he thinks which way he places it.
Oh, did he?
If there's a little video, so he's like
game
telling him which way to go, and Mane walked across and said, "Now I'm going to put it over there." There's loads of little mind games there, but he did put it the way that he went, and he saved it. It was a brilliant save. And then obviously in the shootout, Mane's decisive penalty wins the AFCON. There's been a lot.
I think the right team won.
Yeah.
Overall, from what I've seen, but yeah, I would say I did hear that Mane was throwing himself around a little bit too easily.
Oh, he was. Yeah, he definitely was.
Trying to win penalties left, right, and centre.
Yeah, there was a lot of that, but I would say there was a lot of talk afterwards about because Salah was down to take the 5th penalty for Egypt, and obviously didn't get that far, so he never took his penalty. There's been a lot of talk about where do you place your best penalty taker in a shootout. Should they be the first one, kick it off really well, or should they be 3rd, 4th? Like where do you reckon you
I've always
best penalty taker?
Because if you've struggled with the first 2, it gives you a bit of a boost, and it could be. I mean, there's no point. I get why people put them at the end, and a lot of the time we've talked about Ronaldo because of this. A lot of the time it's because they want to be the one that scores the winner.
Yeah, that's all it is.
But it doesn't make any sense to put them fifth because things like this happen.
Yeah.
They need to be higher up the order. First, second, or third for me.
But there's no guarantee that they'll score it anyway. I mean, I would never I would think too much about an order because you never know what's going to happen. Anyone could miss, anyone could score. So
but with someone with the record of Mo Salah or Cristiano Ronaldo, your percentages are higher than most other players. And they're used to that. They're used to it all the time. Yeah. I mean, it does. I mean, Ronaldo knocked one wide the other day, so it does happen. But you've got to back them higher than anyone else, so they've got to be higher up.
I would go first. I seem to remember Shearer in England shootouts always went first, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah.
So, sort of like Euro '96 sort of. I seem to remember Shearer just step up and you'd be like.
And I think Harry Kane does it as well.
And Harry Kane, just steps up, bang. You know you're off to a good start. Whereas, I think going fifth is just an error. Like I think it's a waste. You might, like you see, it happens. You might not ever get to it.
Well, I mean, they had a lot of practice though, Egypt, right?
They did, yeah.
This is the third one that went to penalties.
Yeah, that's true.
I think they went 0-0, didn't they, as well?
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, a good penalty shootout for your team there, John, at the weekend to put them out of the FA Cup, wasn't it? Hey. Did you see that? Did you watch that?
I didn't watch it. I only watch my team. I don't watch any other team.
That's what I was saying. Your team.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was watching Friday, yesterday.
Well,
no, I
wasn't going to mention that game. To be fair,
I don't even want to talk about it. It's the most abysmal thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Honestly, I've never seen anything like it. It was probably the worst I've ever seen them in my entire life.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, now you've got to say a little bit about it before we go back to your second team.
Well, it's just abysmal, and I thought it was just yeah. There's nothing much to say.
Well, Rangers really good. You were really bad.
No, I didn't think they were really good. And there was a period in the start of the second half, first 10-15 minutes, where Hearts had a few chances actually, and they blew it a few times where they should have scored, made the wrong decisions on too many times, holding the ball when they should have. It happened the whole game where someone runs into space and the person got the ball, sees it, but just doesn't pass the ball. They're like, I don't want to, and turn around to try and they lose the ball. It's like, what the fuck? It happened about 25 times in my group chat where I'm just about to write that. Other people are all writing. Why the fuck do they keep doing that? I don't know what the hell was going on. And the last 15 minutes was just absolutely shambolic. But what's the most annoying thing is I mean, we've kind of secured third place already. I mean, we're kind of 11 points clear. I mean, we'll touch wood early. I don't think anyone will catch us now. But the point was that we've been progressing slowly but surely, and then. They should be putting up a challenge to Old Firm every season, but I just thought this season, especially the way they've been going, they've got a decent squad of players that kind of everything's going really well and stuff. And I just think they always bottle it when they go through Glasgow, and every time before the game they always say, "Oh, we're here to have a go. We're not. How are you going to stop Rangers like on fire?" And they always say, "Well, we're not worried about Rangers. We're just going to go and we'll try and win the game." They say that every time. Oh, they should be worried about stopping us because we're going to go there and try and score goals. And then they just get absolutely annihilated every single time where they go Ibrox and Parkhead. It's like, well, what's the point in saying that then if you're just going to bottle it? The players look genuinely scared to be there. They can't pass the ball to each other. They just blow it every time. It's just a waste of the support they go through to support them. Pay £35 a ticket, squashed in a corner to be games over at half time. What the fuck's that about?
The Rangers have Aaron Ramsey.
He came on a sub for the last 15 minutes. Yeah. I still think that's a bizarre move. That
it's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Because why has he turned down? He said because it was like Arsenal, Newcastle, and like what was the Premier League clubs are after him.
Wolves are supposed to be
loads of them, but he's like no. But then he said he had loads of offers from around Europe, but none of them for the magnitude of Rangers. It's like, well, yeah, Rangers are a big club, but it's just a strange move. Like
really strange.
When he's not as if he's a Rangers supporter. Really, he's like a Welsh guy.
Yeah,
it's just a really strange one.
Yeah, you never know like who his agent's friends with and stuff like that, do you? You never know those sort of things.
I know. It's probably got stuff to do with it, I suppose. But
anyway. So Hearts are a bit limbo now then, because you're quite far off the top and quite far away from fourth.
Yeah, I mean, we've got to just keep pushing and keep getting the points to secure third place and just get But and I know I've never been midweek as well because Hibs are crap as well. Like Hibs are crap this season. Like really, they're a really poor side. They got beat by St Mirren at home on Saturday, but Hearts drew 0-0 away midweek to Hibs, but we could have been beaten. It just wasn't good enough. They just the big games. They seem to we blew St Mirren away in Dundee and Livingston, but then it's like with the big games coming around, they bottle it, and it's really frustrating because they should be they shouldn't be doing. That's why the manager always gets stick. That's why when folk say they don't want him, they want him out as manager. They've said it for years. Then all the pundits and journalists are saying, just I've been doing so well, I've done a great job, and they get beat one game, you want them out. It's like, yeah, but it's the bigger picture everyone's looking at. How can we possibly go to the next step when he bottles the big games all the time?
Yeah.
So it's like he's proved time again that
not looking at the whole pie.
They're not looking at the whole pie. That's exactly what it is. So it's really frustrating. And
it must be even more frustrating that Man United are out the FA Cup as well, mate. So
yeah, it is very frustrating. But I'm very frustrated.
Ronaldo missed a penalty. Bruno Fernandes missed an open goal, and then
they're shambolic. They're shambolic. Yeah.
Was it Alanga that missed the decisive one? Poor teenager, pinged it over the bar.
I felt sorry for him. Yeah.
But it's great that Man United are out the FA Cup, and
that's what I was going to say about that.
What they're going to win this season? Nothing.
Well, nothing. Yeah, but it's a bit strange. The start of the week saying that. It wasn't the gossip column, it was in the papers that Man United were going to offer Ralph Rangnick the permanent job as manager beyond this season on a long-term deal because of the great job he's done since he's come in. And I was thinking, the great job he's done since he's come in. That's a bit strange.
He's done a really
he's not done a very good job at all. Yeah. They've not changed since Solskjaer was manager. They're still dropping points. They still look shambolic. So
he will not be manager next year. I guarantee you that.
That's what I was thinking as well. It's still going to say, well, the Pochettino will probably still be. But is Pochettino really going to break like Klopp and Guardiola, Man City and Liverpool? He's not, is he? Even Tuchel at Chelsea. Pochettino is not going to outwit these managers. Those three are all better managers.
I mean, I don't know, he came close with Tottenham. And I will say that Man United will be willing to spend more money than that Tottenham team are. So, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see, I think.
It'll be really interesting to see.
I mean, if I was a Man United fan, I'd much prefer him to be in than not.
I'd rather Pochettino than Rangnick. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. They've not got a lot of options, to be fair. So, anyway, we'll see.
Yeah, exactly.
For libel reasons, we're not going to get into this, but I'm sure our listeners will have seen the news about Mason Greenwood. And I'm just going to say that's happened whilst we've not done an episode, and I'm not going to say anything else about it. But there you go.
And problems at Ajax and Mark Overmars as well.
Mark Overmars.
Yeah, there's problems. There's problems.
No. And also, this fucking Nottingham Forest fan. No, Leicester fan.
What was that, man? I mean, that's a local derby. They hate each other, but they
but that's a shocker.
I know. It's weird.
But
these people are mental.
Watching something from the 80s,
yeah.
It's bizarre. It's mental. It happened. Remember Birmingham Aston Villa a few years ago. Jack Grealish got battered on the pitches. It's just strange. What's wrong with these people? It's like, well, now you're out the ground. Now you're going to be banned for life. Well, I was annoyed that they scored a goal. Yeah, you're mental, mate. That's bizarre. That's bizarre.
I know. Yeah. How is that going to help you by punching one of their players? You know what I mean? How's that going to?
I know. Wasn't even the player that scored the goal.
I know.
Oh, I'm just right back, mate.
If anything, he should be going and punching his own players.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, that was really bizarre. But did you see the lad that ran on? Was it Rotherham where they were about to take a penalty? He ran on and kicked the ball away just as the guy was going to take a penalty.
This is happening so much at the minute, though. People running on the pitch, like loads of it.
Did you see you might not have seen it because it was a Scottish one, but the Ross County fans.
No,
it was horrendously embarrassing. So they've obviously got a new the new cool thing for youngsters up wherever it is in the bloody Highlands, the Hebrides, whatever. There's about. In this section of the stand, there was about 30 or 40 youngsters, probably between the ages of 11 and 14, all sitting together. So that's the new thing about the match. And when Ross County score, they all run the pitch. So Ross County scored last week, and they all ran the pitch, jumping the players. The players were like, fuck off. Do you know what I mean? And they scored again, and they all run the pitch. They're just stupid, daft idiots. So they're just like, well, they don't even know what they're doing. They're just running about the pitch. But anyway, they're mental. They're stupid. So the Ross County released a statement saying, it's great you found a team to support. You're coming along to support the team or whatever. But if you run the pitch again, you'll be banned for life. Like whoever runs in the pitch for whatever reason will be banned for life. And I was like, perfect, because that's the last thing I want to see. Because I've noticed a few games in England as well, that's a team scores and the fans in the corner, they'll run the pitch. And some of them are the grown men just jumping about the pitch and that. It's like, oh, will you fuck off back to the
It's
stand?
weird, isn't
I mean,
it?
it's embarrassing. So embarrassing.
No one should be
It is
doing that.
embarrassing. I just don't get why it's happening all of a sudden again.
I know.
Like to such a degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Before we go and have our respective meals, what you have for tea tonight?
Hunter's chicken, chicken with bacon and cheese and barbecue sauce. I don't have that very often, but I've seen it in the shops, and I was like, oh, that looks quite nice actually.
Well, I'm not a barbecue fan, so barbecue sauce fan.
I'm not either though. I couldn't remember if it was you or not. I don't really like it either.
Not a massive fan on that, but I don't know what I'm gonna have actually. Who knows? But before we go, we never got round to discussing whether Aubameyang going to Barcelona is a good thing for Arsenal, good thing for Aubameyang. Do we care? Yeah. I mean, I don't really care, but
I mean, I don't really care, but I think it's a good move all round. I think good move for him. He'll play for Barcelona. It's like it's really a team he'd love to play for. Barcelona needs some goal scorers because their front three is not great, is it? And yeah,
Ferran Torres
now.
Ferran Torres.
Is he great? Is he?
He's not great, but he's up and coming.
But if you look at Barcelona's front three for the last 10, we met like Messi, Suarez, Neymar. Before that, it was Messi, Eto'o, Ronaldinho.
Okay, yeah, it's not in that.
Going from that to
bracket,
Ferran Torres and Martin Braithwaite, and you know what I mean. So, but yeah, I'm sure they'll do all right for there. But definitely, Arsenal need to get rid of loads of deadwood. He's one of them. Hit and miss. And Granit Xhaka, there's quite a few more. They really need to cleanse the team, and if they're really going to challenge top four again.
And then, just very quickly, are we enjoying the West Ham supporter that keeps taking pictures with a big dildo?
Yeah. It's pretty funny. I mean, it's stupid. It's immature, but it's pretty funny to be fair. So.
It's really immature, but he's got a good technique for getting away with it because they don't have a clue that he's doing it.
No, I know. It's just last minute. They just think he's going like that. I know. It's pretty funny.
It's really, really immature, but I have to say, I want more high-profile selfie kind of dildo pics. I don't know what else to call it.
Yeah, I won't be happy until we've got one with Prince Andrew.
On that note, mate, enjoy your tea.
You too.